So hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join me finally out on the banks of the river and we're in search of anything that swims on the stick float. So it's the opening week when the rivers have opened and I love being back on the banks of the river. The wild garlic in the air. I'm hot and I'm bothered, but as you can see on screen now, when I've arrived on the river, the first thing I've had to do is make a swim. That is the part of fishing that I do love, but once it's done, you can enjoy the fishing and hopefully that effort will be rewarded. You do join us about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, so we've got a few hours in the evening and we're just going to be fishing the stick float. You can see the bait waders in behind me. We're all set up, ready to go, and hopefully we're going to get 1 or 2 fish on the bank. Let's hope we can just get 1 or 2 fish. When the river's open, it's just that uncertainty of where the fish are. We know where we left them, but are they still about? Well, that is the magic of the rivers. So I waste no time at all, let's make a start. So as you can see, the swim nice and tight, not much room. Got the 17-foot rod, but that's going to give us the length to get past all the foliage that's on the inside. We've got 1 or 2 obstacles in the margin, so it's going to be shallow in the margin and deep as we go out. There's a lovely upstream wind and we're going to be feeding our maggots level with us there. Probably go down this line, down the middle. I haven't brought the GoPro with me or anything like that. It really is an opportunistic session just to see what we can get out on the banks of the river and hopefully get 1 or 2 bites. But nice and simple. Maggots, hemp, corn, and we've got some ground bait with us as well. Looking at the side tray, we've got red maggot, we've got plenty of corn, we've got Hinders hemp, and they're the main baits we're going to use. I've got plenty of this ground bait, and yeah, if the skimmers are about, I'm just going to feed the odd nugget like that into the swim. So I'm just about to plumb the depth and using one of the new Cordham depth plummets. Nice and solid, and it gives me a good opportunity to show the rig. So I've got a reverse shotting pattern starting with 1 number 4, 2, 3, 4 and 5. They're going to be in the bottom half of the rig, and once we plumb the depth we're going to be using a 1.6 gram fine liner float from Cordham. Nice simple setup. We've got 4 pound line, 4 pound duck link and me 17-foot rod. So right over the top of that hemp the float's buried and we're into the first fish of the season. It looks like a little roach. What a beautiful fish to start with. And in the closed season we've had plenty of these, haven't we? Roach. We've been spoilt. But to get one from a river, proper made up, and it's taken probably 2 or 3 casts. Just feeding that maggot in front of me and the hemp just where that jut out is there. And it really is good to be back on that river. Right over the top of that hemp. The float's buried again and this looks like a chublet. Great pulling back, especially on this 17-foot rod. Hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 bites this evening. And look at that, the beauty of a chublet, and who knows, mum and dad might be down there as well. That's a beautiful little chub that. The gold in its gill cover are more than welcome. Sat amongst the balsam and the garlic, feels like I'm back home. So I'm not going too mad with the feeding about that many maggots each put through, and about the same as hemp. I'm just going straight down that green line, right down the middle. If the first 3 bites could showcase how much I love a river, it'd be these 3 completely different species. We've got a dace now, so we've had a chublet, a dace and a roach. It's just why I love rivers so much. You just don't know when that float goes under what it's going to be. And you couldn't write that, could you? The next fish a perch. And over the close season I did watch Matt Hayes' rod race and it took me right back to them Friday nights. It was really good. But yeah, we're having our own little mini one at the start of the season. Chub, roach, dace and now a perch. And after that perch we've hooked into something that's pulling back a bit. This is definitely the best fish so far. He's heading for that reed. It's got to be a chub doing that. Oh, he's got us round it. The one snag in the swim. You can always rely on a chub to find it. And if there's one fish you can rely on to find a snag, it's Mr. Chub. Literally the only bit of snag I can see. Thankfully he's come off. But we're having a bit of a nice start to the session, aren't we? Only got a couple of hours, the sun's coming down. Happy Dan. And it's a bite of chuck at the moment for these. And they are greedy, there's no maggots in the mouth, so hopefully there's 1 or 2 down there. And I just thought tonight I'd nip out for maybe a bite or two, but yeah, won't take too many of them to have a nice net at the end. So the swim did momentarily go quiet, and then a few trots through without a bite. The float's buried. It's probably going to be a bream, they normally are. We feed a little bit of corn into the swim as well. But it's the magic, isn't it, of just not knowing. Great to be back on the river, got to say. You know, he's going to go down this inside, he could be a chub. It's the beauty of that 17-foot rod, just try and tease him up in the water. Oh, it's a big perch. Why, it's a big perch. Oh, it's a big chub. It's a big perch, it's a big chub. I am rubbish with fish. I thought it was a perch to begin with. I'm going to try and get him in. It's a lovely fish to start the season. Look at the size of the mouth on that. And look at that for a lovely chub. Boy, does that make the effort worthwhile. £4 line, £4 uplink, double maggot. And well worth just coming out for that evening session. We've been fishing for probably maybe an hour. It did go quiet, but look at that for the beautiful chub. Proper made up. Great to be back on the river. Great to be back trotting. It's my favourite thing in the world. And look at the cake hole on that. So normally when you catch a chub like that, or a better fish, you can sometimes go back in and start getting them small ones again. The fact we've not done that says to me that there's still one or two better fish about. Or they could be other chub, bream, could be Mr. Pike, which would be a disaster obviously for all species. But it has just remained quiet. Now having a chub like that, I'm hoping it's going to be because there's more of them about. And it's taken a while in coming, but eventually that float's buried. I've kept the bait going in, and we've hooked into a quality fish, so it wasn't Mr. Pike. We are coming to that time of day now, you know, 5 o'clock-ish, where hopefully some of these better fish might turn up. It looks like a bream. It's a nice bream as well. Slabber dabber do, most definitely. But a lovely bend in that 17-foot rod, and over the years I've had some fish on it, most definitely. Just got to take your time. £4 uplinks. Just tease it in, and unlike the chub, this one won't go for the margin. He'll just flomp his way in. And I do look forward to them rivers opening and the challenges that come with them. When that swim went quiet, I knew it had to be either a pike or a better quality fish, because all them small fish we had at the start have disappeared. But on a stick float, great fun. £4 line, £4 uplink, and yeah, they don't fight like they do on the lakes. They proper put up a battle, and I'm made up with that. Good choice to come out today for a few hours at the start of the season. That bream out the way, feels good to go back in and get a smaller fish, but still decent quality with one of them chublets. But yeah, getting to that time of day now where you go from hoping for bites to expecting hopefully one or two will come on. And evenings can go one or two ways on rivers, I find. They either come on really strong or completely go all together. But even if it comes to an end now, we've had a great few hours fishing. So a few of them smaller fish, and then it's gone quiet again. And right over that hemp, that float is just buried. And it really does bury with these fish. I think it's another bream. But see there. Old Flappy. They just flomp their way in, don't they? But on a river with the pace, when they're doing that turning, they don't half put up a fight. I set out this evening for this session, and I've taken catching them chublets all the time. But you've got to be thankful when bronze bream like that come along. It's the second quality one we've had. And yeah, beautiful fishing on the stick float. So earlier on in the blog I did say that in this period, as we move into the latter stages, it can either come on really strong or can be awful and just die completely. But you're always full of optimism in these last little bits. There's one or two fish now just coming to the net. It does feel like There's one or two quality fish lined up. You see there the lazy, oily boils of the day coming to an end. And one thing these bream have got is beautiful colours, in immaculate condition, great fun. And yeah, one or two lined up now as we come to the end. So in the time we had left in that swim, no more bites were forthcoming. You join us again on the bank a day later and we're in search of chub. You join me on the beautiful River Dane. You can see there the rivers are a far cry from the brown banks that we left last year. And if you look at that for the swim, now if that doesn't scream chub, I don't know what does. Sometimes it can be deceiving, but yeah, a beautiful looking swim. There's a little bit of pace on the river. It is low and clear. You can see a couple of minnows topping there, but you can see we've got plenty of features. We've got a tree line there, we've got snags down the inside, and then if I zoom in down the middle, we've got a completely submerged tree across the whole river. I'm hoping we'll never get to go down there, but yeah, if we hook something, it's going to be very, very interesting. Looking at the side tray, nice and simple. We've got plenty of red maggot and there's a bit of sawdust in there. We've got plenty in reserve there, so we've got a couple of pints of maggots because I've got some for the rest of the week. And then we've got that hinders hemp. Nice and simple. We're going to be putting the maggots round about there, and we're going to be putting a hemp about here. It is quite a deep swim. You see behind us there the farmer just going past. And the smell of turnt grass is something that I love about being near the river, and you can see it all coming down on top of us. But yeah, we're going to put the maggots in about here and the hemp round about here because I want to try and draw the fish up really. I don't want to be hooking anything down past, say, that branch there. If we get down there, we're in trouble. So I did set the rod up at the top. I didn't think it'd be as deep as it is, so I went with quite a light float. We've gone with a 6 No. 4 stick float, and then down the line I've got evenly strung No. 4 Dinsmore weights all the way down the rig. See the bottom one there, and then we've got a size 16 hook straight to the main line, no messing about. If we hook something, we need the power all the way through. Now the downside of that is if we hit a snag on the bottom, you know, you could lose your whole setup because the hook link is normally the thing to go. But I don't want any breaks in my main line in this swim. You can see there, hopefully minnows are not going to be a problem. So the reason I've gone with a strung out shotting pattern is you can see the bottom of the river there, it's really clear, so I want that even fall of a bait in that presentation, you know, so that bait's falling evenly through the water. You're getting that nice presentation. That wasn't a minnow, that was a decent sized fish. So there is one or two better fish about. So getting them shot an even distance apart can be key to not getting tangles. So when you're setting up, and a good way I was shown is grab your fist like that and do them a fist apart. So them two are a fist apart. Put your next shot there and carry on up your line. And it's a good way of getting that even drop on your bait. It's the first fish you can see here. We're in trouble. It's one hell of a snaggy swim, most definitely. Fishing 4-pound line straight through. It just had to hold chub, didn't it? Or something. Hopefully we can get it in. So out today on the river with the Coram glide in the swim that was definitely made for it. Got the power with all these snags we're fishing. Glide line straight the way through. 4-pound line. That's exactly what we want to see. Keep the rod nice and low. It's got the power to get them fish away from the snags and up in the water, and that's exactly what we want to see today. The bronze flanks of a chub. There we go, what a beautiful bronze chevin that is. Probably about £3.5, but it's got the length and definitely profile to be a 4 come winter. Well spawned out and great fun on that glide rod with all the power you need to get them out. You get it straight back, and hopefully there's 1 or 2 more down there, but you never really know. This time of year they're not really showed up like they are in winter, but made up to get one. So when we set up in this swim and we got a chub so early on, I was super confident hopefully there'd be 1 or 2 more down there, but you can see all the way down the run there's little small chublets topping. I've been feeding maggots, hemp, corn. I've been right down the side of that tree at times, and yeah, I'm baffled it's only produced 1 chub, but you've got to be made up. We could be blanking and leaving without a bite. So yeah, I really do hope you've enjoyed these 2 videos on the channel at the start of the season. I'm going to put them both together to make 1 video, and all that remains is for me to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.